Hey y'all, it's Dinorah, aka the Southern Belle of the South Bronx. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a special recipe that I wrote and I'm very proud of, and I hope that you'll like and you'll try. It's called Chimiyaki. Now, what's a Chimiyaki? First of all, let me explain what a chimi is. A chimi is a Dominican burger that has a seasoned beef patty. It has cabbage and it has onions, and then it has mayo ketchup, which is like a mayo and ketchup sauce with a little, things in them. And then a takoyaki are like these Japanese street foods. Is like a ball of dough that's filled in, and then it has octopus, it has pickled ginger. So I fused the two because I love takoyakis, and I also love chimis, which is something that I had for the first time when I was 16 years old and I went to go visit my sister in the Dominican Republic. I'm of Dominican descent, and I also have a love and an appreciation for Japanese cuisine, so I birthed this recipe. Ebiyaki. So taco means octopus, ebi means shrimp, so depending on which one you're making. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should, because I have an ebiyaki recipe on there, so check that out. So yeah, let's get into this recipe, and I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think. Let's start with the chimi part. So we have some grass-fed ground beef, 85/15. Now we're gonna add some fresh grated garlic, always fresh, some oregano, some chicken bouillon, some fresh cracked pepper, and salt to taste. Then we're gonna add my favorite, Worcestershire Sauce. This gives red meat like that chef kiss like taste. Then we're gonna follow up with some soy sauce. Up next we have the sour orange, which I think is a staple in Dominican cuisine. So we're gonna add a little bit of that in there. Now we're just gonna mix, and we're gonna put that thing on the side. So let's get into the traditional yaki batter. So I'm adding some dashi stock powder to my water to make a little bit of stock. I then take this stock and add it to a beaten egg. Here you would also add 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, which I forgot to add, but that's okay. We're gonna mix. And then we're gonna add some cake flour or all-purpose flour, whatever you have on hand. So we're gonna mix that very well. This is a very loose batter, you'll see once we pour it into our pan. Do it in batches to avoid, clumps and stuff. So after we mix this, I'm just gonna put this into a measuring cup because it's gonna make it easier for me to pour into the pan later. So now let's cook our chimi meat. So in a regular chimi burger, this would be made into patties. So you'd cook this into patties. But what I'm doing here is I'm just cooking it as just regular ground beef, just cooking it very well, cooking it through. I didn't put no fat, no oil in the pan because this was a 15% fat ground beef, so it'll let out its own fat and juices. So I just cooked this all the way through, as you'll see here, and then I just put it aside. So let's make our special sauce. So here we have some Kewpie mayo, which is a Japanese mayo, some ketchup, and some sriracha. To that, we're going to add some hot honey. Y'all, this hot honey is good on anything. Some fresh cracked black pepper and some granulated garlic, and some salt to taste depending on, how things are tasting for you. And then we're just going to mix. And we're going to set it aside. So for the inside of our chimiyaki, we have our ground beef all ready, and we have our cabbage and our scallions ready to go. Now let's get started. So here we have some avocado oil. We have our pan on a low to medium heat. I'm using a Danish pancake pan. I don't use a traditional takoyaki pan. It works just as well. I'll link it down below. You just want to make sure that you oil every pocket, even the top of the pan as well, as you'll see here. So now we have our batter. Just mix it up because it'll settle a little bit. So just mix. And then we're just gonna pour. We're gonna pour about 3/4 of the way up. So now we're going to add our chimi meat to each pocket. I would say like maybe a few teaspoons, 2 or 3 teaspoons. Next, we're going to add our cabbage and our scallion. So in a traditional chimi burger, you would have 1 piece of bread toasted, usually a water bread, which is kind of like an Italian bread, your meat, cabbage, tomato, onion, and then your mayo and ketchup sauce, and then you top it with another piece of bread. So here we have the same concept, except we're adding some scallions into the mix just for the Japanese/Asian flair. Now that all of our filling is in each pocket, I take 2 metal chopsticks and I just wiggle a little bit and I start to flip over and tucking in the edges so that we get a perfect ball. You're doing this on medium to low heat just so that everything cooks through from the center to the outside, and then you'll see as you're flipping, you just flip consistently. You can also add a little bit more oil to the sides of the pockets, just so you get a golden brown color. So these are perfectly done. So what I do next is that I put them onto my air fryer sheet just so that they can stay warm while I make the other batch. If you want, you can also reheat these in the air fryer and they'll be just as good as well. So here I am just creating my second batch. Y'all, these are so good. Alright y'all, it's topping time. So like I mentioned before, in a traditional chimi burger, you have your cabbage, your tomato, your onions, and your sauce, right? Well, here we have some cabbage that I washed, I dried, and then I added a little bit of salt, gave a little massage to, and then I rinsed again and dried it, just so that the cabbage would be a little bit more pliable, a little bit more soft. Now we're adding my pickled shallots. Y'all, look, the recipe's on the screen. These shallots are so good, like literally on anything. They're really good. Gonna clean up a little bit. And now we have our mayo and ketchup sauce with that little kiss of sriracha and hot honey. Like, honey, this is so good, y'all. I need to bottle up this sauce. It's so good. Take a look. Take a look at this, y'all. So y'all, this is my Chimiyaki, my original recipe, fusing together a Dominican chimi burger and a Japanese takoyaki. So let's have a taste. Really good. Good job, Dinorah. It's so good. I'm a messy eater, sorry. This tastes like, literally like they just had a baby together. Dominican chimi and a Japanese takoyaki. The pickled shallots So good. All right, y'all. Until next time, let me know if you like this recipe. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all be blessed now. Bye.